What's going on, my good people? It's your boy Jay Fry. Today we're outside in my small backyard garden where we're gonna be doing a little garden refresh / update. And that's just gonna be doing a part of the garden, so it's gonna be one step of many. So hang out with your boy for a minute and check it out. Alright, so we're gonna start our refresh today with our flower bed. Now in this flower bed is where I plan on just doing my flowers and some of the herbs. And I put this together last year, but this year I just want to add some edge into it because I did more weed eating last year than I did cut the grass. So I feel like the edging is gonna help out a little bit. And then I'm going to replace a couple of wood raised beds. Now the edging and the raised beds that I'm replacing, they all come from Languard, which is fairly, have a fairly decent price. So I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description if you're gonna be interested in something like that. So let me go ahead and show you guys the flower bed that I'm gonna do the edging and the area that I'm gonna try to clean up and refresh with the raised beds. All right, so just taking a look at the flower bed that I have right there. I don't know if you can really tell there's a flower bed there, but once I put the edging right there, you'll be able to tell all the way from my rosemary there on the right side. And then I'm also going to try to go ahead and use some of the edging to cover up this peach tree that I have right here. So just by putting the edge in there, cleaning up the mulch, getting the weeds up out of there, that's going to help, in the summertime. That's going to help me with the weed eating and keeping it clean. And then this is one of the raised beds that I'm going to replace. This is a 6x2 wood raised bed, and I'm going to replace both of the raised bed with a 6x3 12 inches tall raised bed. So I'll put a raised bed there. Then at the bottom of that planter, I'll make sure to put some cardboard down, and then I want to run edging all the way across and replace that raised bed as well. Now start with this raised bed right here because I know the new one is going to stick out a little bit further, and it's going to tell me how far to start my edging out. And this is fennel right here. I got some fennel in here growing and some sage, so I do want to go ahead and dig that up, put it in the flower pot, and then that way I can replant it. I think these things made it through the winter time, through the freeze, so they seem pretty tough, so I think they can stand to be dug up. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig these up, get them in here, and we're gonna remove this bed. Now, this bed right here, by any means, I don't need to get rid of it because it's still good. I still probably get a couple of years out of it, so I'm just going to move it to another part of the garden. I'm going to show you where I'm going to move that to, and it's just going to add more space for me. All right, so this is our 6 foot by 3 foot raised bed, 12 inches tall. Now, I put together another raised bed. This one is pretty sturdy, especially for the price, you know what I'm saying? So I think it may be worth it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna do the job, but let's go ahead and get it down. It does have a couple of support braces in there. That didn't get as tight as I thought they should, but I think they'll do what they're supposed to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in. I'm gonna have to move a little dirt in there, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I got it in place, and I do have a whole bunch of space in between here. Let's take a look. Now that I got it in place, I do have a whole bunch of space from the edge to where the other raised bed was. That's why I wanted to get this one set up first so I can see how I'm gonna start my edge for this in-ground flower bed right here. So to help me out, I just got some cardboard pieces that I'm gonna slide all the way up to the dirt or the edge of where that other bed was. And then what that'll do, that's just gonna help me help it to keep grass from growing in there as much. so I got my cardboard down. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the soil up out of this planter right here and top it off inside of here. That way it'll make it easier for me to move that planter. So I do want to move that planter because I have a sprinkler that's down, and I want to lay cardboard below it down there. That way I can mulch over it and keep the grass from growing under there, which will make it easier for me to weed eat too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this dirt inside of here. And so that's another thing for me, you know, buying the raised beds. I kind of went with the shortest one that I like, which was this 12 inches. I don't need to go any taller than that on all of them, because you know, you have a raised bed this size, even though you get it for cheap, or if you buy one that's very expensive, you still got to fill that thing up. If you look around where I'm at, I don't have trees and leaves and everything to help fill it up. So most of the thing for me, I'm either gonna have to go to my local composter or to a big box store and purchase and fill it up. So that's one of the things why I said I'm gonna go ahead and go with this 12 inch one. But all right, so I got one of the raised beds replaced, and I took the soil from this container gardener, and it didn't fill it up, but I was able to move it, and I fill it up later. So the next thing for me is to replace that raised bed right there. That way I can go ahead and continue putting the cardboard down. So I don't know if this one is going to be easier to lift up than the other one, but out of this bed I should be able to get out of this one I'm going to get 2 raised beds. So I'll split these up, so that in total I'll add 3, actually be adding 3 more raised beds, or wood raised beds, to a smaller spot. So I don't think I can get that up. I'm probably going to have to go and get the drill, because I did put a brace down here, I think. No, I just braced it on the ends. So let's see if this will work. Yeah, if I can't get it up after doing this, if it's seems like it's gonna be a little bit more work than what I want to do, back breaking work, I'm gonna go ahead and get the drill and take it apart. So I was saving cardboard back here. But yeah, I can go ahead and get that up. I can go ahead and get that up. Get it out the way. So I'm gonna have to figure out exactly where I'm gonna put it, and then I'll make room for the brace right there. All right, so check it out. We got another raised bed replaced, and because I had that double layer with wood, it was actually enough soil in there to fill it up. I probably need to add 1 more bag versus the other bag. And I also, if you see, I got the cardboard down. That way when I get ready to come through and put my my mulch down, that'll cut back on the weeds. So I wanted to see how those were gonna look in place, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm gonna go ahead and start the Languard edger. So I'm gonna put it right in front of here, and like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the flower bed over there. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so if you're still here with me, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. If you hadn't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and help your boy grow. And if you've been here, go ahead and hit the like button and leave a comment or something like that. Now, as you can see, I've replaced already 2 of the raised garden beds that I have, and it's already making a difference on the refresh on my small backyard garden. Then we have 1 more, a 3rd raised bed that looks similar to these, except it's a round one. I will have to figure out where I'm going to put that at. We'll take a look at that here in a minute. But like I said, I want to go ahead and put this edging down. That way we're gonna see how much more it cleans it up. Then I need to put it around this peach tree. And by the way, I have 2 more trees coming that I'm gonna try to fit in this small space. So we're gonna make it happen. But let's go ahead and get this edging down, and then I may clean up a little bit of this flower bed today. But it's like I said, it's a process. So I'll get the edging down, kill some of the grass in there, clean it up. Then I know the next thing after this is probably gonna be coming back with the mulch. But let's go ahead and get this edging down and see how we could transform this area right here. Now I can't wait to get this down, because I I actually contemplated on different ways. I didn't know if I wanted to use the wood garden bed edgers, or just, they had so many varieties, but I found this one on Languard, so I decided to go with the Languard edger. Now I should have had this open already, and I didn't do a unboxing of these raised beds because, you know, I did it once before with another bed, and you know, I'm pretty sure you've seen plenty of those, and they all pretty much the same, just a bunch of screws. So this right here is this is olive green, and it is 6 inches. So 6 inches. Then I'm supposed to have 50 feet. Give me 50 feet. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and get some 10 snips, but that way I can cut it. I hope this is enough to go around here. I think I counted like 28 feet. I didn't measure that, but I do want to go ahead and get around this peach tree pretty soon. So let's go ahead and roll this out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get some snips. Thought I had them out here. So just then with the knife, you know what I'm saying, I did go ahead and once I popped that open, you can see it scratched it up. So I don't know how, when I'm weed eating against it, as I do the weed eating, how much it's gonna hurt that, but I'm pretty good at weed eating because last year I did more weed eating than lawn cutting. And it seems pretty flexible, so that's gonna be easy to work with. I'll just take this what is a 4-pound mallet sledgehammer. I'll take that and a piece of plywood or something, and I'll bang it down. But so I guess I am going to use the same line that I was already using with the weed eater, but there's a little trench right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up all the way around, remove some of the compost that was already in there. So I clean it up. I may have to get a shovel and just make a trench all the way around. That's gonna make it easier for me to put that in. So I think just by me going ahead with this action hoe, going back and forth, loosen the soil, and I did take the flat end shovel and kind of loosen it up a little bit. It's probably making it easier for me to push this down. And then all I'm doing just taking a piece of board and this sledgehammer and trying to put it in place. Now what I'll end up doing is coming back once I put this in, I'll add more compost and maybe add a little dirt on this side if it's not in the ground close far enough. But other than that, I think we're gonna be pretty good. All right, so check it out. I got the edging down in one section, you know what I'm saying, starting at this raised bed. Then I just came around, and that's gonna edge off my flower bed that I have right here all the way to the end right here. So it's getting kind of late. I'm gonna finish up later on tomorrow. I'll come in, and I guess I'll start cleaning up inside of there, removing some of those pots and some of the dead stuff. And then I'll come back and do the third round raised bed that I have. I think it's like a 2x2 round raised bed, so I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm gonna put that. But so far so good. I'm gonna come back and do the edging in between those two beds right there, move some of that cardboard. Then I think we're gonna clean up pretty nice. So all right, so we're back a few days later where I'm gonna go ahead and finish up a part of this garden refresh. Now the other night I was able to go ahead and finish putting the edging around the flower bed and some of the other spaces, but today I'm gonna go ahead and finish with the last raised bed that I have here and see if I can get some mulch down. If you're still here with me, you know I appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give your boy a thumbs up, hit that like button or whatnot. All right, so this area right here is gonna be the last section of the garden refresh, what we're gonna do. And so I have this 6x2 or 6x3, and then I have a round raised bed. That's like a 2x2. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be. So this is my first in-ground garden that I did. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove this And these are just some mustard greens. They're still good. I got some giant mustard greens here and the red ones, but I'm just gonna move them. We don't need this space right here, or we actually need this space. So I'm gonna get these out the way, and then that way we can get set up. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually get this soil, because there's some good soil that I actually worked in here. I'll clean all these weeds up out of here, put the soil in the wheelbarrow, and get this raised bed where I want it. Now these mustards, they were pretty good. I was able to harvest off of a few of them, and we had some mustard greens. And if you eat them raw, they kind of taste like a little bit of horseradish to me. But so I hate to pull them up, but I want to use this space. We have some in another place. Matter of fact, I don't think we have enough to make a whole pot of mustard greens, but I do have some collards. But yeah, this is a giant red, and we'll try these again later. So like I said, you can see it now that I moved that bed. This was one of the first in-ground beds that I did. So I got most of the soil out of that little spot, and you might say, man, why you take that soil from there? Because I worked pretty hard to get that soil the way it was, so I got a half of a wheelbarrow full, just about a wheelbarrow full, that I can add back to this raised bed. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put some cardboard at the bottom of this. That way we can kill off the weeds that was growing. We'll do our edge and then cardboard and see if I have enough mulch to fill this space in. All right, so before I actually put all the cardboard down, I'm gonna go ahead and get this edging in before it get too late. And I have to remind you, I don't know if I told you at the beginning, you do need a pair of snips. So these are just some straight snips, so I'll be able to cut it. And I'm using just a 4-pound sledgehammer and a piece of 2x4 just to get it in the ground. Now, it may be a little bit easier here, but in some parts of the yard, it was real dry. So I had to take a straight shovel and just make a crease. That way I give me something to start this edging inside of it. But over here, I don't know if I'm gonna need to do that, but go ahead and get this edging in, and we're gonna fill it up with some mulch. I think I got enough, and then we'll be done for the night. And so if you're wondering why I put it at this space, it's almost like, I think it's like 5 feet. So I do have something that I want to put in between these beds, kind of like I put in between the other 2 beds. So that's why I measured it out. I won't be planting anything in ground, but I got something else that I'm going to put here. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to put that in. Just to make it easier, I'm going to go ahead and use this straight line shovel. So because I started putting it in there, and we just go down the line like that. So where I dug this up at, that's where it's causing me a little bit of problem, but I'll just put some more dirt on both sides. So this is the mulch that I'm using for this section right here. I think I paid like $3.88. It's just Texas native, so I am here in Texas Zone 8B. This one come from, I think I got this one from Lowe's. So this is just some cedar mulch. Shredded cedar mulch. Kind of has a little aroma to it too. I imagine probably that's like I had used some of this already, and then I'm gonna put a full bag down, but let's see how that works out. All right, so I got the last part of the garden refresh that I'm gonna be doing for right now. The last thing I had to do was put this last round garden bed in. So what I'll do with that, I have a thing full of compost, the DIY compost bin. I'll dump that in the bottom, and then the soil that I took from the top, I'll add that into it, and then I'll work on getting some soil. So that's the only thing about getting these extra big raised beds, is you got to also have the soil to put into it. And I noticed right now, which I didn't pay attention because this one sticks out a little bit further than the other one. This edging that I put in there is a little bit at a slant. I don't know how long I'm gonna let that stay like that, but it'll be easy for me to come back and line that up and move it around. That way I can make it a little bit straighter. And pretty simple. I put the mulch down and it looks pretty good. So this is just my back fence line. As you can see, that's a 2x2 round bed. Like I said, I'll fill that in with some of the dirt I had and some compost first, and then this is just the last piece of the edging that I did. I did a number on this one, but we're gonna compare it to where I did it. I was trying to do it kind of fast and it's uneven, so I'll end up redoing that one. And then that's another raised bed that I did the other day. So if you can see from here, my raised bed, then I got a container bed in there, another raised bed. Let's take a look. I've already put the mulch inside of there. Then my blueberry plants on the side. And then, like I said, there's another raised bed. And then for my flower bed over here, all I did was the edge, and I'll come back and do some mulch over there later. But I was able to get the edging around this Alberta peach tree. So I've been needing that. The whole reason for me really wanting to do this edging was because it makes it easier for me to weed eat when I'm cutting the grass. All right, so that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with your boy. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about the little refresh that I did in this area. And also, if you're interested in something like this, like I said, I'll make sure to leave a link in the description where you can go and check it out. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with your boy. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. I'll holler at you.